Hello and welcome everybody, and especially you fine folks of GMAN 5A. I'm your recapper for the season, Octochicken, and I hope you're all aboard the hype train, because season 14 has just started, and this looks like a great division for the fresh teams to start their journey. This is a precap in which I will go over the teams, I will go over the first week matchups, I have some bold predictions from you guys, I have some bold predictions of myself, but first I want to address a bit about the fresh teams. What is Division 5? Because Division 5 has 8 teams in it, and ReBBl is supposed to have 13 weeks per season. So how does it work? Well, you guys are in an 8-team division for the first 7 weeks. And you will fight it out. First place of all the other 14 Division 5s in GMAN will then go on to the so-called play-ins. They play for the spots for the playoffs and for the Challengers Cup. You see, there's 5 in each of the 3 playing groups, 5 teams for the first places. Well, we need 6 teams, so we take the 3 best second place teams and put them in the play-ins as well. And they will fight for the, in the last 5 weeks for their places for the playoffs and the Challengers Cup. So the first places will be off to the playoffs, and the second places will be ferried off to the Challengers Cup. Yes, by train. So, what does the rest of you do? There's a lot of people that will not go to the play-ins. They will go for the last 5 weeks to the so-called training grounds. Here you can play with your team a bit more, you can earn some more SPP, learn the team, and go on to the next season. Or you can stop using the team. Some of you will do that. The team is no more. There's only 5 players left, and all of those are goblins. Yeah, you want to start over. You can do that, but you have only half a season. You will also see 7, 5, that's 12. You told us there's 13 weeks in a season. Yes, because there's 1 week in between these 8-team divisions and the 16 divisions, in which the admin team sorts out who goes where and so on. And yeah, hopefully they will get it done in 1 week, because that's sometimes a lot of stuff to handle. Yeah, that's just the organizational part. Then let's go to the teams, to the division. I have ordered the 8 teams we have into edgy hybrid bash. That's, yeah, discussable which goes where, because well, a chaos team, a fresh chaos team is not bash. It's not hybrid and edgy either, because they can't do pretty much anything. Whereas the Bread team, at the moment, it's the most bashy team of them all. It's also a very good hybrid team at the moment, and 4 players with catch. Yeah. Edgy, the elves, I think that's not contestable, or at least not very much. The Underworld, yes, the Underworld is normally a kill team, but it's not a bash team. It has also the most dodge players of any of the teams here at the moment, so I put them in hybrid. Yeah, and you see we have a nice spread going here. Going to the teams in detail, we first have the High-Tune Hustlers from Herringsword. And Herringsword is a name you will see quite often turn up in ReBBl, if you are not aware of him. He is arguably the hardest working man in ReBBl, or so the saying goes. He also has played for 11 seasons already in ReBBl. He was the trainer of the Bargain Boozers, the dwarf team, for 4 seasons, which stopped playing Blood Bowl and started a discount armory. You should not get your armor from them. That's just all I say for that. After that, he went to the Bargain Brunchers Halflings for 1 season and got a lifelong ban from coaching Halflings for that. Yeah. And then 6 seasons of the United Scarab Camry team, and they had 2 playoff appearances even. He's now playing High Elves, and some stuff he said on a stream before his first match were, "I'm led to believe elves are good, so I picked the worst elf team." Well, arguably High Elves are not always the worst elf team, but they are the worst to start with because they are the best elf team at very high TV. He has also apparently no idea what he's doing, and a record of 1-1-2 for such an established coach. Yeah, that might be true. And he was quite perplexed about something. High elves can do this thing. I think it's called a pace. It involves the ball flying through the air. Let's see what happens when we try it out. Yeah, that's what he does. This guy, the thrower, John Wayne Beresford. Yeah. Greenhorn, as you see, went meh for Heringsword, but he got 58 SPP out of it. He has 3 levels. Most of those went into dodge, except for one lineman who got block, which is actually already an interesting choice, I think, because I normally think you either give everyone dodge or someone gets a wrestle first. But block on a lineman, because, well, let's face it, most teams will be at maximum even in movement, so wrestle can be a nice skill. But Heringsword went with block, maybe even to have someone more to blitz with, because high elves have the problem to have they can only start with 2 blitzers. Yeah, but despite the record of 1-1-2, I think this team looks like it has a nice start, at least for a high elf team. Next up, we have Dreamify, who comes with somewhat engaged, the Wood Elf team, and he continues his theme of not having players with actual names, because no parents will give their kids the name ReBBl.net Scout or hashtag my dudes complainer. Seriously, those are not names, those are, if anything, titles or something. Well, Dreamify, if Heringsword has been here for a long time, Dreamify has been here even longer. He started with the Jungle Corsairs, the Dark Elf team, with 7 seasons, and 6 of those in Division 1 of GMAN, or I think at first it wasn't even GMAN. There were no different ReBBl, GMAN, and Big O. Yeah, this is quite an accomplishment, I would say. Then he went to Pro Elves, House of Fairy Balls, 2 seasons, and he even had a triple MV busted line elf in this team. It was great, I guess. And then Community Sports, his Orc team for 3 seasons, which was a runner-up for the Super Bowl in season 12. And he considers himself an elf coach, he told me at the beginning of the season, in which he was the runner-up for the Super Bowl, yet he had his best run with the Orcs. I give him that these were more green elves than orcs, but still, that's interesting. And now he's going for wood elves, and wood elves are some of the best, one of the best, if not the best team to win stuff at low TV. So he will definitely be one of the guys to watch. He has the only tackle player in the whole division in Admin Abuse. He also has block on his catcher. He has a lineman with dodge, and I've cut off the tree man because that has too many skills to display, and they are just standard tree man skills. He comes out of the greenhorn with only 51 SPP gained, so maybe he actually tried to play the greenhorn correctly. I don't know. He has 3 rerolls. He has a TV of 1,100k. As I said, 1-1-2, same as Heringsword. Maybe they just have to adjust to the new teams now after being with the Bash teams for so long. I don't know, but I still think this team will go far. It has not that much development, but you don't need that much development if you have War Dancers, and he will get his second War Dancer anytime in the season, I guess. Next up, Chinese Numbers by Manoloth. He was here for 3 seasons with typical Spanish, a Dark Elf team. He made the Challengers Cup in season 12. And this Underworld team has a great record of 2-2-0 in the Greenhorn. Yeah, Dreamify was in the same division as Manoloth in season 11, I believe. And this was a fresh division with people who had 4 games of Greenhorn, and Manoloth was a latecomer and had no games on his team, but still it went very well for him. So Dreamify says he good. Yeah. 43 SPP, well, at least they are not on the goblins. And they are very nicely on the blitzers, on one of the throwers, and on a lineman. Here we see a lineman with wrestle using the movement 7. We also have 4 SPP already on the troll, which is nice. We have the Mighty Blow on the blitzer. He will be a force to be reckoned with, definitely, especially in this division, which has very low armor overall. And the throw with dodge is an interesting choice. I don't know that much about Underworld, but from all I see, most people take block first on their Underworld throwers and use them as almost backup blitzers. But dodge is also nice for a ball carrying piece, so I'm not mad about it. Next up, we have Glorion with the Legion 9 Urus, the Chaos team of this division, and one of the 2 stat-ups that we have with Edgy on the Beastman, Leo Gore. But first, the coach, Glorion, started out with Chaos, Legion 6 Ferrata, 1 season, and yeah, that did not go well for what is normally one of the killiest and bashiest teams. Then he had the Mad Commander and Nurgle team. He went 3 seasons with them, also a bashy killy team. Yep, 12 kills, 17 deaths. And then Freya's Guard North, 3 seasons. They have almost all AV7, as you may know and probably know. Still, only 5 deaths in 3 seasons, but 18 kills. Yeah, you know Glorion is what he is in for. You see it in his team. Well, I have a warrior and I give it Mighty Blow. I have a Beastman level up and I give it Mighty Blow. Yeah. So, it's not yet there, but it's it will be a full-on bash team by the end of this half of the season, I bet. By the way, he made playoffs in the last season, from almost winning Division 3A, I believe. His TV is at the moment, I think it's the second highest. He has earned a lot of SPP in the Greenhorn Cup, despite being having only 1 win and 3 losses to his name. Next up, we have Hindi, How Good People Turn Evil, the Necro team. Hindi also an admin, and you will see him all over the place in ReBBl. He started out with the Lunging Lizards, a Lizardman team. Yeah, you guessed it, it's a Lizardman team for 2 seasons, and he made it to the playoffs in season 8. That was the first season he played the Lunging Lizards, I believe. After that, he went on to had a Sauspiel. I'm not Bavarian. I'm German, but I'm not Bavarian, so this is the best I can give you. Kislev, 3 seasons. He had 2 playoff appearances with them, and he was already after his first season. He was, I believe, in the 2000K regions with that team. It was really ugly. And after that, Bavarians wearing 101, a halfling team he had for 0.5 seasons, and he even managed to win a real game. He had 2 wins, but one was an admin win. But he had a real win. Okay, it was against a 4-Gobo Orc team, but still. His Greenhorn has not been going well for him, except for bad plays working. The Speed Wolf, the second stat-up we have in this division. Yeah, that's a natural 1-turner in the making. And also a werewolf. So he will be able to do anything as soon as he gets some more skills, and that does not take long if you're movement 9, I would guess. Yeah, nonetheless, no wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. That might be because his dice were failing him very hard in the Greenhorn, which led him to foul on turn 16. So if you didn't know what type of coach he was, now you know. It's a type of coach who fouls on turn 16 in the Greenhorn Cup. Also, really important, this is Hindi, this is Hindi, this is the one you need, the Puffin, not Hindrance, the Toucan. Good one, American one. Next up, the Top Bananas, coached by Sir Trevor McD. Sir Trevor McD, not that old in ReBBl himself. He started out with the Eurogamer Cup, where he played a Chaos team with a Minotaur. Then he went with Beefheart and his Merrymen, an Orc team for 3 seasons, where Captain Beefheart himself, the captain, was a lowly line Orc. And we see here Top Banana himself is a lineman again. I think he had mixed if not low success rate with his Orcs, and I think it was mainly because he had sometimes problems to score with the Orcs. So the change to High Elves might be a good thing for him, and the Greenhorn 2-1-1 result says the same to me. So this might be a good season for him and a good change of team for Sir Trevor McD. 53 SPP is nice. He has 2 rerolls, contrary to the other High Elf team from Herring Resort. And here we see the Wrestle on a lineman. That's nice. We also see Kick. I love Kick at least once on a team. Well, not more than once. I love to see it early because that tells me he wants to win the games. We also have another wrestle on a catcher, so he is going to be your ball sucker, I would guess, and dodge on the rest of them. Very nice spread of the SPP and of the levels. So overall, this seems to be a much better team for Sir Trevor McD than his Orcs before. Next up, we have Oxaster with the Jurassic Sparks, a Lizardman team. Oxaster has been here for 2 seasons. He started off with the Skynes of Blackheart, a Wood Elf team. He had 1 season, but kept every permanent injury he got, which is nice. And then he went on with the Obsidian Smith, a Chaos Dwarf team, which was only half a season, but still he managed to got 4 rerolls on them. So you see their 4 rerolls is a bit much, to be honest, on a Chaos Dwarf team. So you see he had some problems with them, with their reliability. Both seasons did not go, I would say, did not go as planned for Oxaster, so he's trying the Lizardman now. Greenhorn went 1-1 and 2, which is not that bad. It's better than some of the other guys here, and it's the same as for Herringsort and Dreamify, who are high-profile people here. So maybe lizards are also a good choice for Oxaster. He played against Hindi and Hindi in the Greenhorn Cup, 1-2-0 against Hindi and lost 0-2 against Hindi. Yeah, he won against this Hindi. He lost against this one, so it doesn't count. Yeah. We have 2 Soros who have already got the block skill. The other Soros are a bit behind, not many SPP on them. He has already 4 SPP on his Croxigore. He has a Skink with 13 SPP and a niggling injury, and I would say kill it off. Get rid of it immediately, because this Skink is a reliability. You don't really need SPP and levels on Skinks. Skinks are fine without them, except if you get doubles, and they are great. But he did not get doubles, and if he gets more SPP, you will only bemoan them, because he will inevitably die. With a niggling injury and the stunty skill, he will leave the field in 30% of the cases that he just goes down. Armor breaks. If his armor breaks, then it's I think it's 70% that he will go off the field, and over 40% of the time, if the armor breaks, he will be injured. So this one is a liability if I've ever seen one. So please, it will be best if you get rid of him. And then, last but not least, the Full Metal Chemists by Kjeldal. He's a ReBBl freshman. He's not a freshman of Blood Bowl. He plays tabletop rather frequently. He is, because I know that, because he is in the tabletop league I wanted to join when COVID hit. So we did not have any chance to play on the tabletop yet, but I managed to get him in this league, so win-win, I would guess. And he plays Bretts, and if you know anything about me, you know that I love Bretts, and I think it's great to see like minds here with him. 2-2-0, the record in the Greenhorn. He got the most SPP of all the teams here in the div, and that with Bretts that are already very good at somewhat low TV. Yeah. And then I look at the team and I see only 2 blockers. And then I immediately hate it. And I also see the 3 rerolls. How does he get 3 rerolls? Because he left out blockers. Yeah, that means he will be. It will be a long time before he gets any guard. Okay, no, he rolled a double, but that guy will be dead within 2 weeks. So he will be without guard again. I don't like it. I would have liked to see him start with all his blockers and get the lineman later on. Now, look at this. All of the linemen have SPP. Most of the linemen have more SPP than the blocker with the most SPP. So, but if it works for him, good for him. Also, dodge on 2 of the blitzes and mighty blow on 1 of the blitzes. Justus von Liebig just got to be the most dangerous player in the league at the moment, I would say. Because of Dauntless, because of Movement 7, because he has Mighty Blow and Block, and he has AV8. So, if it wasn't for the Dauntless, the Underworld Blitzer would be the same, but yeah, I would say this is the most dangerous player at the moment in the division. And also this is, at the moment, the bashiest team. You have 5 times block, you have the only guard in the division, you have open Mighty Blow. Yeah, they that's Bretonia at low TV for you. So, this were all the teams so far. Let's go to the matchups. And here you see a change in quality, because this is how a professional does it. Thank you, Jimmy5, for giving me the slides. While I just put together stuff from the website. First up, we have the top bananas against full medical chemists. As I said before, high elves are the elf team who need the most TV to be good. Or said in the other way, they are the best at high TV. Most of the time that means these elves are worse at low TV. High elves have very little skills at the beginning, and you can see that here. If you compare it to the very, very many skills that the Brats bring in. Combine that with a track record of the coaches. 2-2-0 in the Greenhorn versus 2-1-1, which is good, but lackluster performance, I would say, with the Orcs. I would give this to the Brats. They are a team that works already. Is very well working team. High elves have some way to go, so I would give this one to the Brats. If I had to put numbers to it, I would say 3-1 for the Brats. But let's see what actually happens. Next up, we have Jurassic Sparks against how good people turn evil. Yeah, here we have we get a lot of loner skinks. We also have a missing white. He's MNG for this game, but still we have levels on the werewolves, which came from his last game in the Greenhorn. So he hasn't worked with leveled up werewolves so far. So the block werewolf, which is really great against the Saurus. Also the movement up werewolf, who's faster than the skinks. Yeah, this looks great. We have Betrayal, Dirty Player. Didn't mention it before. Dirty Player very good on the zombies. Very good against skinks. As soon as you get a skink on the ground, you step on his face and he's gone. And what are lizards going to do if they don't have skinks? Well, not play the ball. Play with the heads of the enemy, probably. Yeah. So despite lizards being relatively good at low TV, even I see I see this one going to the Necro. I would say 2-1 for the Necro is realistic in this one. Then, next up, we have the High Tune Hustlers, Herringsword against Legion 9 Urus by Glorion. We have a bold prediction for this one later on. We also have, well, not really complete High Elf team versus a Chaos team that's still very much low in development. This is probably the best spot for Herringsword, the best week to get the Chaos, because they will only rack up more skills. Mighty Blow is not that effective against High Elves, because Armor 8 is not as acceptable. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. To Mighty Blow than AV7. Still, it hurts. It will hurt very much. Also, we have a designated ball carrier for the Chaos, which is quite early for that. Yeah, this one will be interesting to watch. I will give it to the Elves for now, because they have dodge, they have more block, they have ball handling skills, and the Mighty Blow pieces do not have block yet, so at the moment I would say this is Herringsword's game 2-1 for the Elves. And the last game of the first week, somewhat engaged against Chinese numbers, and yeah, Dreamify said Maloloth, he's a good coach. He says he will be a player to be reckoned with in each individual matchup. He doesn't know if Underworld lends itself for consistency to be in play-ins range at the end of it. Yeah. Where was my train of thought? Yeah. Who's going to win? I'm going with Dreamify. Despite the Chinese numbers having the better track record from the Greenhorn, these are Wood Elves at low TV. Great team at low TV. Why? Because they have War Dancers. Why else? Because they are very, very fast. They are very, very agile. And most teams don't have Tackle yet. Most teams don't have Mighty Blow yet. We have one Mighty Blow here, which could make the difference, but I don't think it will do that yet. And we don't have Tackle. We have Tackle. This is the only team with Tackle so far. This is the only player with Tackle in this division. And he gets to go against the Underworld in the first match. So all that tells me I will give this one to Dreamify. It will be a tight one, I would say. I think it will be a 2-1 for Dreamify. Yeah, you can hold me accountable for that next week. So, those were the matches. Next up, we have the bold predictions. And I asked you who will get the top spot. I got 5 answers by people. 2 people voted for Hindus or Hindi to be at the top at the end of it. 1 person said Kjeldal had a great record in the Greenhorn Cup, and his Bred team looks great, so he will probably take it from there. And Dreamify also has been mentioned 2 times. I myself am inclined to go with Dreamify as well, so you could say there's a 3rd vote, because Dreamify got to a final of a Super Bowl, has been in Division 1 of GMAN for a long time with an elf team. He is an elf coach by heart. He has now the best elves at low TV. Yeah, all those factor in, as well as I played against Hindus' Necro. I wasn't impressed. It's because of the dice, but still. Yeah. I also asked you how you would rate your chances. So, how does this compare? Hindus says, yeah, I will take 1st place. 2 votes for him. Yep, that fits the bill. Dreamify also says he wants to be in play-ins contention. So, top 2, he said. Matches up with what the other coaches said. Kjeldal hopes to get onto the podium. Yeah, as you saw from the beginning, podium alone is not what you want. You want best first place, that gets it to play in safely. Second place, you would have to have a really good second place. So, yeah, if you want to get it, get first place. Herringsort himself hopes for top 4, and Glaudion is realistic and says, well, I'm playing Chaos in the first season of them. I'm glad if I make middle of the table. The other guys haven't answered my questions, so I guess they get the last 3 spots. That's how it works, doesn't it? Yeah, by the way, with this first place and especially second place, that means it's a race for second place. It's not just win and get the points to get second place. You will be compared to all the other second places if you get second place. So touchdown differential is very big in this. How many touchdowns you scored is very big. So it's not just win, it's win big time. So this makes even the first season for the new teams very exciting, because you're not just... It's not the best result if you just grind a narrow victory. You want to be dominant. You want to have an overwhelming victory, so you get a much better touchdown differential than all the other teams in all the other Tier 5 divisions. Okay, that's that out of the way. Bold predictions. We have one. Justus von Liebig, that's a Mighty Blow Knight, will die before the end of the 4th game. That's one bold prediction you've got from me. Second one was Legion 9 Urus will pitch clear the High Toon Hustlers. If that happens, by the way, with those bold predictions and with who will get the top spot, if it happens, I will reveal who has tipped that. Otherwise, you can guess, but I will not reveal who tipped anything that did not happen. Yeah, next up we have one of the elf teams will inflict the highest body count. Was also one of the interesting bold predictions. So far we have seen a lot of Mighty Blow on other teams. So I'm not sure if that will come true. But we will see. And also a very, very bold prediction. The match between Hindi and Herringsort will be a good game. I guess someone did not read my question. Right. But very bold. If that happens, yeah, you're golden. And also, I said, you have written in some of your bold predictions. I also have some bold predictions, and I have one for every team. I think the High Toon Hustlers will have no more draws this season. Very bold prediction. Herringsort will not draw. That would be all over ReBBl. So if that happens, I want to be praised as an oracle. Another one for Dreamify he will play more games with 1 or less war dancers than 2. And I've realized after I've written that he's somewhat far off of his second war dancer cache-wise, so I will extend that to catchers as well. And I will say he will play more games with 1 or less war dancer or catcher than with 2. So yeah, because all of the woodhelves are thingamatic AV7, and that's just what happens sometimes. I'm as I said, I have not that much experience with Underworld, but I will say that the Chinese numbers will cast someone with a thrown goblin. Yep, make it happen, please. I will also say that Chaos, Legion 9 Urus, will end up with the player with the most running meters. That's actually a low-hanging fruit, because Chaos tend to have just one ball carrier, and this ball carrier will run all over the field because he's not going to pass, he's not going to hand off. He will pick up the ball at the outer rim of his half, and he will take it all the way to the opposing team's end zone. The only people who normally get more running meters than the ball carriers of a Chaos team are actually dwarf runners. So yeah, I picked a low-hanging fruit with this one. Then I tip that Hindus manages a one-turn touchdown with a Speed Wolf. That's also kind of a low-hanging fruit. I've seen his some of his one-turn attempts with a Kislev, which were mind-boggling, and to have a one-turn with a movement 9 piece with another frenzy piece that can help him get all those pushes, I think that's actually a quite easy one, but still has to do it. One-turn touchdowns are never a guarantee. For the top bananas, I will say top banana will die, leaving the top bananas bananaless for the season. Yeah, you heard it here first. We will not have a banana on the top bananas at the end of the season. For the Jurassic Sparks, they will have a game with both a skink, Cass, so a skink that inflicts an injury, and a Soros that makes a touchdown. Makes a Sapin Oxaster, and then I'm happy with you. Also, I will say that the Full Metal Chemist will lose the most players. Why do I say that? Because he started with only 2 blockers and has a whole bucket load of peasants that are there to die. So yeah, I will even say that might also be one of the low-hanging fruits here. We will keep track of these bold predictions, and I will be held accountable for them at the end of it. Yeah, so this was the preseason. I'm sorry for the mic quality. It might I will do my best to fix that for the rest of the recaps. I'm looking forward to the recaps every week, most likely on Wednesdays. Yeah, so this is me, Octochicken, signing off, and I hope you will have a great first week. See you guys.